We are live. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. We're checking out the Black Voices in Gaming showcase that premiered, I think it was like noon Eastern yesterday. That I did not get to see because I was at work. So we got some catching up to do. Then I think we're gonna check out that Onimusha demo. So we got a little schedule here for the day. Let me see. I don't know why I'm waiting the full time. There we go.
What is happening, my people, my people? My name is Justin Woodward, co-founder of Black Voice in Gaming, The Mix, and the nonprofit Experience Studios. It is a scorching, sizzling summer, and we're kicking the door, waving the fofo with our annual Black Voice in Gaming Summer Showcase for 2026. Our mission is simple. We help support and celebrate developers through grants, network connections, publishers, investors, platforms, and of course, the community of you guys and the culture. This BVIG, we are proud to showcase trailers, interviews, and gameplay sessions with some dope developers. Before we get started, we want to thank our sponsors, Raw Fury, Aurora Broadcasting, No Rivals, The Mix, and our broadcasting partners, Summer Game Fest. Thank you guys for supporting us. IGN, Twitch, GameSpot, and Steam. Yes, Steam. Please wish list or purchase the games you see in the show through the QR code that pops up. We're coming up on our third year with the XP Fund, where we help fund grants through an accelerator program that will get these games made. If you're interested in supporting these games through charity, please follow the QR code on the screen when it pops up. And if you're interested in investment opportunities, please hit us up as well. Without further delay, I'm gonna pass the mic to Lori and Curtis Baxter to get into the first game.
Yes, giddy.
Thanks, Justin. My name is Curtis, and I am joined by my incredible host, a fantastic content creator by the name of...
Hi, my name is Lori, and I'm so excited to be here today with you, Curtis, for all of the trailers, all of the announcements.
I know, I think it's going to be jam-packed, so I don't know about you, but I want to get right into it. You down with that?
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
Hey, my name's Graham. I'm a Jamaican game developer.
Oh, I remember this.
My cozy island builder.
I can't remember what showcase it was because I've been watching a bunch recently.
Focused on creativity. No pressure.
I was
no
curious
rules to
about
follow,
it.
Just pure vibes. It's up to you to create whatever kind of island you want to make. Whether it's a lush forest campsite or a vast deserted island. Our Lands has dozens of things for you to decorate your islands with. And once you take a break from building, even more things are waiting to be found. Just poke around. There are a ton of delightful surprises for you to experience. Now, once you think you're done, show off your hard work by making postcards and sharing them with your friends. Because good things should always be shared. Day or night, rain or shine, come and craft your liquor slice of paradise right here in our lands.
A princess.
Looks like it said Epic and Steam at the top. The creators of Keylocker.
As her demonic mass pulsated lifelessly.
Bat-Hori or Bat-Thori? Heritage of Blood. Oh wow, look at the pixel art. That's crazy. Ursula Bathory, the Vampire Princess. Whoa. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Delphi Benyovsky? I'm not sure. Vlad Dracula, the Impaler. like the art direction a lot. That was dope. Elevator. Every move matters. And got the marble game. I haven't played that in forever. Control the board. Score to attack. Build powerful synergies. Adapt every run. Logan. Logan is like African god? I'm not totally sure. Because it's like the dude from Fire Force, his name is Ogun. I can't remember. Maybe it's an African fire god, something like that. I could just be making things up. Acid chain. Can you find hyena? Snake. Got a demo out now on Steam. Alchemic beasts. Regurgitate. Ooh, fusion. The persona action. And evolution. Interesting. And you're what? There's so much. Like build your own property, home base. Ooh. Alchemic Beast. Back us now on Kickstarter. That one look cool.
Hi everyone, I'm Thiago Prudente from Mandinga Games. We are indie game developers from Salvador, Bahia, Northeast Brazil, and I'm the lead developer of Black Sailors, Bay of All Saints. I'm here to tell you a bit about the game we are building and why this story matters so much to us. Black Sailor is an adventure RPG with tactical turn-based combat. It's a story during the colonization of Brazil back in the 19th century, about a group of enslaved Africans who refused to accept their fate. So they rebelled, seized control of a slave ship, and became pirates, fighting back against the Portuguese colonial oppression in the Bay of All Saints. It's a decolonial game. That means we are shifting the lenses here. We are so used to seeing history and games told from the perspective of the conqueror or the explorer, but in Black Sailors we flip that logic. We take the power out of the hands of the colonizer and put it in the hands of the enslaved and oppressed. One of the things that drive us is how history is taught. Even in Brazil, our education is often very Eurocentric. We were taught at school that our country was formed by Portuguese, indigenous people, and Africans, as if African was just one big homogeneous block, but that was not the case. The African diaspora was formed by several different ethnicities: Yoruba, Bantu, Fon, and many others. Each had their own unique culture, cosmology, and customs. Some were even rival back in Africa, but they were forced into the same struggle here. The colonizers actually thought mixing different ethnicities would prevent revolt. It's important to understand that Black Sailors is built entirely from an Afro-Brazilian perspective. Our culture is incredibly rich and rooted in African ancestry. But over centuries, we lost the clear lines of what came from each ethnicity. In Black Sailors, we are creating an alternative story exploring what it would look like if this Afro-Brazilian identity was forged in the fire of a pirate rebellion. We didn't want to just make generic African rebel characters. That's why we are collaborating with historian, specialist in African diaspora in colonial Bahia. We have researched these specific ethnicities to create characters with real, distinct motivations. So in the crew, you will not just find generic Africans. There is a Daomé warrior, a blacksmith from Oyo, a hunter from Ife. You also find people with very different motivations. Some of them just want to go back to Africa. Others want to build a full-scale rebellion and dominate the Bay. And some have lost everything and are driven just by revenge. These clashing motivations create a dynamic conflict between them that evolve as you play. When the game begins, they have just taken control of the ship. They don't know each other yet, but they quickly realize they will have to overcome their differences if they want to survive. Your role as the player is to manage this crew and assign them to specific functions on the ship. So, if you want the ship to move faster, you need to put more people on the sails. If you want the ship to shoot back, you need to put more people on the guns. This is how you play the Revolution. It's a turn-based strategy experience divided into two phases. First, the planning phase, where you manage your crew, analyze enemy movements, track enemy bullets,
In my head, I was
and
thinking
decide
about
your strategy.
Reloaded.
Then comes the resolution phase.
Reloaded
where
also
you
has a
watch
similar
your
like
decisions
two-phase
play
kind of
out
thing.
in real
Planning and
time. As
execution.
your adventure continues, you upgrade your ship and crew and rescue more people who join your cause. We just announced Black Sailors to the world, and the reaction was intense. We saw a lot of backlash from people who treated the simple act of portraying enslaved people with agency as some kind of agenda, but the support has been even louder. We realized that there is a massive audience of players who are hungry for stories that step outside the Eurocentric power fantasy. Black Sailors is for everyone who wants to see history through a different lenses, a lens of resistance, humanity, and freedom. Thanks for listening, and I can't wait for you all to sail the Bay of Innocence with us.
Good for him. That was dope. Oh, I remember seeing this. Yeah, the mech suit guy. What is it? Owen and Proto-Roll? Proto-Roll? Is that a fighting game? I'm seeing the combos. Warriors wishlist on Steam.
All right. Well, that was an incredible trailer for Netcode Warriors. I am joined by my co-host, Derek Fields, and right now we also happen to have the CEO and game director of Sun Studios, Segun Oshede. How are you?
I'm good. Glad to be here. How's everybody doing?
Doing well. Doing well. No, we're happy to be checking out this game. So, I mean, right off the bat, these are totally new characters, right? Totally new IP. Can you kind of walk us through the entire development process?
Yeah. So we've been working on Netcode Warriors since 2020. So it's been a hot minute. Earliest days were a lot of ideation kind of phase. Like, what does this IP mean and what is it about? Like, kind of figuring out some of the story and lore aspects and kind of honing in, like, how we were going to reference our inspirations and things like that. Once we were able to kind of communicate with Watanabe-san and Moriyama-san, so those are the guys from Japan who actually worked on the Digimon IP. Kenji is, like, one of the original kind of creators and designers of the Digimon IP. Once we were able to kind of talk with those guys and get more of a hone in on the art style, I think that kind of like we were off to the races at that point. We also had other very talented designers. Ivan Fiorelli, famously, I think has done like some stuff for Fantastic Four comic. I think he was the penciler for Fantastic Four for a couple of years. Mitch Lucas has a pretty famous webtoon that's in development called Project Divider. So a lot of very talented artists kind of help shape the artistic vision of the game. My inspirations for art generally are always going to be based on my background. So I'm Nigerian. So for instance, the main character is Yoruba. I'm Yoruba, so the Yoruba tribe. That was important to me. But also bringing in some of the things from my childhood that really stood out to me artistically and stylistically. So very Shibuya punk and grind fiction inspired. You have a lot of like
grind
kind of
fiction.
streetwear
Oh
and
my
street
god.
culture
Never
kind
heard
of
that.
aspects that are kind of baked
Been a
into
minute.
some of the art and the especially the human characters, but then
Jet Set Radio people, they know.
transformations into these like larger than life like warriors. We call them code warriors. It's very Sentai inspired, very Power Rangers inspired. So those are like bringing in a lot of like aspects of things I grew up with, like Mega Man Battle Network and other franchises like that that really shaped the vision of like the IP and everything like that. But yeah.
Yeah, rock on. It's easy to see for me coming from like a similar background in terms of influences and the types of media that I was growing up with. Those influences, like they breathe all throughout Netcode Warriors. There's something that you nudged on that I would love to hear more about. One of my favorite topics is talking about cultural intersection and how these different inspirations can come together to breathe new life. You're directly interfacing with Japanese developers and artists within this project, and so can you expand a little bit more about what it's like to work truly as a globalized studio?
Yeah, so the whole studio is remote. I've always said, like, I don't really care where you come from. I just care that you got heart and talent, right? That's it. I don't even care too much like how much experience you have, because I think it's very easy to fall into that trap when you're hiring somebody of that whole thing like, oh well, I need experience to get a job. How can I get a job if I don't have experience, right? So for me, it's just if I see passionate people, talented people, I tend to reach out to those and try to see if there's like a way we can collaborate in certain aspects and certain avenues. In regards to the globalization of everything, people from all over the world, from Spain, from Indonesia, animation team, the riggers, animators from Brazil, and so like the team is kind of worldwide, kind of by necessity, just because we want the best people that we can bring onto the project. In regards to working with the Japanese guys specifically, definitely language barrier was kind of hard to overcome. You're like translating emails back and forth, trying to make sure that you're not saying anything that they can be perceived as like offensive and incorrect. Like you want to make sure you're culturally sensitive to whoever you're speaking to and kind of the background, especially some of these guys who are very well known in the industry for the kind of work they've done. It was very important for us to always approach those conversations with respect and make sure that the people who we're talking with, that they're creatively and artistically being fulfilled by the work we're asking them to do. I'd say that's kind of our general approach to how we do stuff.
I like yesterday you said, like Bailey stream, basically right on time.
No, it's not easy, especially when you're running.
Well,
you have a global.
Yesterday I was like, I might stream it late. Yesterday. Like I was, cause in my study group, I came back from my study group and then I was thinking about streaming, and then I decided I'm like, no, I'm kind of tired. So I like, you know what? I'll just move it to today, at my regular time. I am a little bit late, but not too crazy late. But welcome to stream, Ditch. Welcome to stream. We're checking out the Black Voices in Gaming Showcase. They're talking about Netcode. What was the full name? Netcode Protocol? The Netcode Protocol? Netcode Warriors. That's what it was. Proto was the name of one of the characters. But they're talking to the developer. It's been a good interview. It's given me. I'm taking notes. I'm taking interview notes.
Team. Like you do. Can you speak to a little bit of the challenges that kind of come up and kind of how you kind of triumphed over them?
I'd be lying if I said I've got this part down 100%. I'm still growing, learning every day. Part of it is just trying to be as flexible as you can with time zones. Time zones can be a big thing, right? Sometimes I just don't get a lot of sleep, because I'm like talking with people in Spain who are 4 hours ahead, or Japan who are 12, 14 hours ahead, whatever, right? So like sometimes it's me being up at 3 a.m. but needing to be up at 8 a.m. to do something, right? So that the reality is like sometimes it's a grind. It's really hard. It's difficult. It's mentally taxing. I'm sure my girlfriend would love to see me more. But at times,
don't play.
life
Don't
demands
play
that
with them.
to achieve greatness, you must do great things, right? So yeah, I hold myself to a very high standard in regards to how I do work and how I operate and everything like that. And I can't expect everybody to put in 100% if I'm not putting in 100%, right? 110%, whatever I have to give, I give, because these projects that I'm working on, that we're working on as a studio.
How's the day been for you though, Didge?
I'm very passionate about them.
Hope
To
it's
me,
going
Sun
well.
Studios is poised to be like one of the
It's
next
been a
premier,
crazy
fighting
week
game
and it's
developers,
only
at least
halfway
based out of
done.
the West, right? If we do things correctly, and if we make sure that we're precise and very calculated with how we do things, and that we put our heart into it. So that's kind of my approach to that.
Good, that
As
is
a
good.
fighting game, this means that we're entering into the fighting game community. and
Okay, it
entering
is a
into
fighting game.
A
Okay.
nuance for things like iframes and move cancellations and like hitbox coordination. I am arbitrarily gesturing at this as just a fighting game couch player. Dead or Alive was my game of choice, and I'm no longer good at any of them. But they bring such a nuance, and so what sort of nuance, emergent outcomes do you hope comes from Netcode Warriors and in terms of how people play and engage with this game?
Yeah. So Netcode Warriors, right? Obviously, there's the stylistic kind of things that we're referencing, but in regards to the gameplay itself, I think that's actually where it shines, or where its specialness comes from, because we're making an arena fighter. Which there's a lot of them out there. Usually based on licensed IP. Like your famous anime or whatever. But those games are usually designed for a more casual experience. They're not really designed to be competitively deep. It's more about getting to experience your favorite characters and play them in a way that's easy for you to do, and easy for you to switch from character to character and just do really cool stuff and kind of put it down and like had a good time or whatever. And that's not really the design goal here. The design goal here is for you to put hundreds, thousands of hours into like the game is like constantly revealing itself to you. And in that kind of design space, arena fighters haven't really had a competitive spotlight before. I mean, there's one or two here or there, but they all kind of make compromises to kind of have that conversation with the fighting game community, I would say. And we're kind of looking at things in a sort of a different direction. Obviously, we're trying to incorporate some things like motion inputs are pretty big for us. Quarter circles and things like that should just exist more usually in traditional fighting games that tend to not exist in arena fighters. We're putting those in, charge motions and other things like that. But the idea of what an arena fighter is, or what it can be, is a real expression of freedom of movement in a three-dimensional space that 2D fighters just generally aren't really can't do in the same way, I'd say. And so even the 3D fighters that you're familiar with, like Dead or Alive or Tekken or Virtual Fighter, because jumping usually and crouching share an input, jumping, crouching, and stepping to the side share an input that limits how quickly you can move in and out of the foreground, and it's mostly about moving forward and backwards quickly with intervals of that. That's why there's high level techniques about stepping into out of the foreground. Netcode Warrior kind of approaches it more like there's a real freedom of movement, and the skill and depth is how the decisions you're making based on that movement. You can move wherever you want, but are you moving in the right place at the right time? You can move quickly, but are you quickly adjusting to what your opponent is doing?
I played an arena fighter recently where I had to
design
think about this.
space in regards to what
I was
Netcode
getting
Warriors is,
smacked up.
I love that. We spoke a little bit earlier just about this being, again, a new IP that no one's seen before. Let's say we're fast forward, game is out, it's doing amazing, as I'm sure it will. Fandoms love to interact with their favorite characters. Do the Sun Studios have any kind of aspirations to take those characters and develop them for other forms of media? And what does that success look like for you?
Interesting.
Yeah, this is something I've thought about loosely. I haven't put too much thought into it, to be honest. But from what I've thought about, I do think a companion manga makes a lot of sense. Like a one-shot manga, I think would be really, really succinct with the art style and the inspirations and everything like that. Would make a ton of sense. I think animation, like a short film, could also do wonders. I think also there's various opportunities because the designs are wild and so like dynamic, and there's obviously licensing opportunities, like, you know, clothing, merchandise could be cool. The human characters have these very techwear kind of inspired outfits, so something that kind of leads into that I think could be interesting as well. But yeah, mostly, you know, like manga, animation, novelization. I mean, those are all like valid avenues that one could pursue, or one, you know, that we thought about to some degree, but haven't put too much thought into, because we're just really focused on making a good game with a good story first. Something I want to make sure is that I don't want people to feel like, oh, like I didn't get this, like I have to go do homework elsewhere to understand like the game I just played, like or the story mode I just played, or to understand the characters that I was interacting with. If that makes sense. Like we want like a full story experience, right? Like in Necro Warriors. So
Interesting.
Really quick before I let you get in, Derek, I want to know. All right, are you keeping the story under wraps, or can you speak a little bit to the story a little bit right here? Because you know I'm a story guy.
yeah, I can talk about the story a little bit, but essentially, these people, right, humans from all around the world. So that's another thing, is that the cast is culturally diverse intentionally, right? They're from literally every character's from somewhere else on Earth, right? You know, our main characters from Nigeria. We got somebody from the Scandinavian region, some Japanese, some Taiwanese. You know, so, you know, like American, like they're all from different walks of life, from different parts of the world. They all one day, by happenstance, get like sucked into this alternate world called the network, right? And the network is essentially this living, sort of breathing world. Like when sometimes in lore and fantasy, you talk about like Gaia, Earth, as like a living, breathing thing. In this alternate dimension, that world is like alive, basically. And it's overseen by an entity called the Sovereign. And essentially, the laws of physics are kind of inverted in this alternate dimension.
Wasn't it the Sovereign in
energy is an infinite thing, but physical matter is like more limited than it is here. The humans kind of quickly realized that, like, oh, if we could funnel this energy to Earth, then we would have potentially unlimited energy, and shenanigans ensue. That's basically like, the gist, the kind of
as
surface
one
level gist of
does. Sounds like humans.
Love a good story, and I'm glad that you expand on that a little bit. It relates in a lot of what I was thinking about. There was a nugget that you mentioned about the story, about a lot to do with the game's identity and the expectation of players committing an amount of time to it, so that they don't feel like that they have to do homework outside of the game to drive a connection with it. Games now are emerging in a space where let me rephrase and say, all media is emerging into a space where they are competing with each other. So whether you're a game or a cartoon or a movie, the attention space is like a continuously crowded economy. And so, looking to keep your players in this environment in hopes that they will dedicate that time and expand upon the story. It sounds like a huge undertaking, one that it commands, standing out with some of these other arena fighters that you were pointing to. What do you think about that, emerging into a saturated space, emerging into a space where, the goal of keeping players attuned to the game is going to be really important? Are there other elements that are going along with the story to keep people coming back for more?
It's like, why should I choose you?
Being like the competitive kind of drive. Game needs to be deep, right? From a competitive standpoint, to have a sustainable player base, or just a player base that sustains over time. I think another thing also is, like, at this point with most fighting games, like, you need to show your player base that you're gonna put more time into it outside of just the initial release. So you're gonna expect like some kind of downloadable content, whether it's more characters and things like that down the line, which are all things, conversations we're having and plans.
Is that the expectation for indie fighting games too?
Definitively like
I have
that
no
at
idea.
this time, but all conversations we're having about how to make sure that Necro Warriors is it's not just a game, it's an intellectual property, right? That can extend past just the game itself, right?
Yeah.
Like whether we get to make like a Necro Warriors 2 or 3 or whatever, right? Like we've already had conversations about some of the story elements that would play into Necro Warriors 2 if we got to make that. And we have
I wouldn't be
a
surprised.
very interesting kind of fighting games
Since
are very
it's
hard
like
to market.
standard,
You need to show players
I guess,
that
for
there's something
AAA
either
games, but at the same time,
you usually need IP or something unique or something they're familiar with,
like,
something to grip.
me personally, I would rather have kind of like what they I don't want to say back in the day. It makes it feel like it was forever ago. But older generations of fighting games used to have it where, like, to unlock new characters, you had to play through the whole story, the whole campaign, or you had to beat every fighter in, like, whatever order kind of thing. I would rather do that. I personally have been put off by fighting games that have, like, the DLC rosters, because usually they're cutting people that were in the other previous game, and then all of a sudden you gotta buy them to have them and all this stuff. So that does off-put me a bit. But I'm also not a huge fighting game person, so that might be why.
To grab them or bring them in. So one thing is obviously like character designers who worked at Marvel and worked at Bandai and Digimon. Like that was like one pull. Another pull that I can't go into too much detail about, but I can basically explain is that we got some pretty prominent content creators in the fighting game community to agree to give to let us use their likenesses actually as characters in the game, as playable characters in the game. So that's something I'm super excited about because I think it really creates this like fandom kind of relationship between the game and those content creators and the communities, right?
And they can't pay to win.
I think will really accent kind of the IP in an interesting way.
To remind folks watching, you are both the CEO of Sun Studios and also the game director. So you're actually covering multiple projects at a time.
Yeah.
Talk to us about like what does your typical day look like when we're talking about literally being part of crafting the business, which is the games in your case, but then also having to operate also on the kind of business side of things.
Yeah. So we're currently so fully self-funded. So I do have a day job.
Remember when that stream was mad that he couldn't pay to unlock stuff in Helldivers? I actually don't. W brain. I actually don't. But
a decent amount of my day obviously is going to that, and most of my Sun Studios related work is outside of that work day. Generally speaking. I mentioned earlier I don't get a lot of sleep. I wasn't hyperbolizing. That's just like generally how things are right now.
I guess I'm on the fence about that, cause like, are you just what do the other weapons and stuff get you? Like, does it actually give you an advantage, or he just didn't want to sink in the hours to get whatever in-game credits? Because I kind of understand. It's literally the tactic that Ubisoft was using with, like, some of the other Assassin's Creeds that adopted, like, the RPG stuff where you had to, like, be at level. And then they gave you the option to buy experience to go to the next story mission. And it worked because people are like, I just want to play through the game. Like, I don't want to play all the extra stuff. So I can kind of see if that was the concern, was like, oh, I don't want to spend X amount of hours to... But even then, you don't... Now I'm thinking about the Helldiver shop. You don't really need to buy anything in there. Like, you don't need any of that to play the game. So... I don't know. If it's a time sync thing, I'll say I guess I understand where they're coming from. If it's not, then it's all pretty much cosmetic. Just wanted the cosmetic stuff immediately. I guess I'm not so much mad at him about, I guess, just wanting to buy what you want instead of, like, grinding for hours and hours and hours. Which I don't even know how much currency it was. Maybe you only have to play one game and you get the thing. But I'm more like, why do you need this so bad? Like, why do you need that so bad? I don't know. That's an interesting situation.
I'm the game director on both this and our other fighting game project, Saturday and Battle Manga. So I'm the game director on both of those projects at the same time, and so that does demand a lot of my attention because a lot of people, need information about what to do.
Isn't that the same as playing to unlock characters? No, I don't think so. Because you just said it's like it's just cosmetic things, versus like the unlockable characters. You're unlocking like a new way to play, basically. Unless you're saying like buying the characters. Oh, like skipping. I guess skipping the amount of time and stuff to go through the campaign. I guess similar line of thinking with like I don't want to spend the time to do X, but the reward is different. Cause I'm like I don't want to spend the time to get this Hello Kitty cosmetic. I'm like okay, I guess whatever. Not you don't care that much about the pathway to get it. You just wanted the Hello Kitty, but the characters thing, I think is. It feels different to me. I don't know. I guess I have to frame it in a different like, because I'm thinking of like Smash, which is like a game I enjoyed playing the campaign and like unlocking the new characters, or Helldivers. I think Helldivers is cool, but I prefer other games to Helldivers. So that's why I'm like the skin thing. I'm like, yeah, I guess if you want to buy the skin, buy the skin. But if you were really into it, then you would put in the time. So I have to frame it like what would be a different game, like Halo or something. I don't know. There's also games be putting ridiculous amounts of like you have to have like 1 million of this currency. So then something like that I could see it. Buy a new character more than a new cosmetic. So I think that's why I definitely do. It is like a similar idea, but it's like the cosmetic it's just like a wearable thing versus a new character that's like a new way to play, and then you like interact with other people, you make different game plans, and it's almost like getting another piece of the game. Like cosmetic, I'm just like I've never really been big on cosmetics, but I kind of see what you're saying. I would be okay with buying a cosmetic, especially if the currency is crazy. I'm like I don't necessarily want to buy a character because I feel like it's built into the game. So why are you taking that out? That's the thing. That's actually the thing. I feel like they're taking content out of the game to then sell it back to you. Versus the cosmetic, it's just like they just throw it in there. It's like if you buy it, cool. If not, someone else will. But the character thing is like they're taking a piece out and then trying to like get more money out of you to play that thing. At least compared to like how it was previous generations of fighting games where like all the characters are in the game. Now it's like not all the characters are in the game. Anyways.
Making sure we hit our deadlines, our marketing kind of goals, and everything like that. So those are kind of different kind of facets that play into how my schedule lines up. But I don't have a specific like, here's what I do at 8 a.m. and here's what I do, and because sometimes like things aren't the way they are.
Yeah. If you're creative, if you're a game director, we know that some of those regimented moments kind of feel like locking ourselves into a box. Jesse, it's been a pleasure to learn more about Netcode Warriors and understand what you and Sun Studios are doing for not only this, but the other projects that have been alluded to during this conversation. With the limited time that we've had, I've already learned so much, but is there anything that we maybe didn't get a chance to cover that you would like players to know about before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think, for us specifically, marketing has been a thing that we would like to do more of, right? I think we're planning on setting up, by the time this goes out, we probably should have like a Discord server people can join to kind of have community, talk with each other about the game and the characters that have been revealed and have more speculation about the story and different things like that. We want to, kind of announce some of the voice actors that we kind of had conversations with and cast for some of the roles and as well. So yeah, the game's kind of ramping up and the development's kind of ramping up in a very interesting way. I obviously cannot give a definitive release date for the game at this time, but the plan is to release it next year at some point. I can say that now.
2027.
Next year, that's the plan.
Rock on.
Yeah.
Well, this has been terrific just chatting with you, getting to
Give
know
us a
a little bit
demo.
more about you, about Sun Studios, and about Netcode Warriors.
I appreciate this conversation a lot, guys. It was a lot of fun.
If you like what we're doing, then scan the QR code and consider supporting the XP Fund, which helps provide grants to underrepresented indie developers to help move their projects across the next stage of development. Now, let's get back to some more trailers.
Rough Eclipse. Pest grabs. A Rogue Eclipse. Rough Eclipse. Rogue Eclipse. That makes more sense. Well, does it? It sounds better. Demo available.
Pay attention, adversary.
Scramble Star Crossing.
Here. This time will be different.
3, 2, 1. Oh. Brand new puzzle. What is this? What is going on? It's like a fighting. They got like a fighting game kind of setup. Some like RPG kind of. It's kind of giving like Tetris, but things are moving so fast I can barely tell. I think it's like Tetris. Every match unique. Oh. Like they sleeping good. The cat propaganda though. Chuck Kuna supporting me from another world. Oh yeah. I remember seeing this. I remember. Strange Scaffold. Ooh. How can I help to smash stuff I tell you to? Oh my god. Oh. Who made this city? Who made this city? A little freaky. Xbox and Steam on July 29th. Wish listed now. Oh. Saturday in Battle Manga. I auditioned for
It's time for a new hero.
a voice on the game when they had the open auditions. I did not get anything. Did not get anything back. No voices right now. Just sound effects. Is there still a chance? Didn't know. You didn't know. Ditch. Where have you been? I did the freaking voiceover class thing like, when was that? That was like 2 years ago?
Dream is gonna be a look into
It's like
the life of S, which is my alter ego.
I was more invested a couple-ish years ago. And then I feel like I was like more into like specific things like, oh, I would want to do like a voice in this. But even then it's like a whole role. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm like, I don't think, at least right now, I have the drive to do voiceover like that. So like if somebody invites me to do something, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But yeah, no. I think it's I guess a hobby. Yeah. A hobby.
So it's like a
Have you
semi-autobiographical
seen?
game.
Yeah. I
And
follow
S
some of
made
those
these
like Twitter
virtual
accounts and
spaces for
stuff.
themselves that
If I
they
see
call
something I'm actually like
sanctuaries,
interested in, I'll be like, oh yeah,
out of
sure.
a wish or a need
That's the other
for
thing.
a world that is more.
You can't be choosy if you're trying to get into voiceover at the beginning. Once you like get more established, sure, but I'm like I'm being choosy. So I'm like, yeah. Can't be like oh, I'm all about this, whatever it is, I'll do it, because I'm like, that is not me. But I think it's cool.
Safe, or for a world that accommodates better for grief and sadness, or for a world where they can imagine versions of themselves that like somehow find a hard time existing in real life. My name is Samuel Baido. I'm 33 years old. I'm based in Antwerp, Belgium. I work as a theater maker, performer, and mentor. And in the last 3-4 years, I've also been working as a game designer. I think it's a game that can be enjoyed by experienced players.
This looks like they took the the camera where you can like scan your environment.
Gaming. Next to walking being the main action, some of the things you will come across are like interactable words like read,
I guess
or
like an app,
sit, or listen. Those are like some of the interactions you can do in the game. So it's rather simple. I think it's really about the experience, about getting to know the story of S, and spending time in these virtual sanctuaries. There are sanctuaries created for rest, sleep, and dreams, but there is also a sanctuary that kind of encapsulates a painful, even traumatic memory, I would say. There is a sanctuary that questions how we can grieve for people that we don't know but feel close to or feel connected to. So this is like almost a game inside of a game. It's just a circle of chairs with names on them. But I'll read out the little plaque with information. Sit with them. I hope to turn this into a game one day. A game where you walk and encounter names on chairs. A list of names of people of color in Belgium who were killed by the police.
Oh.
I wonder what it would be like to sit with them around a campfire. There is the home world that connects all of the sanctuaries, and in the home world, different iterations of S live. I call them NPCs, non-playable characters, and you can chat with them, and a big part of the game is actually to kind of help them get unstuck or to help them heal in some kind of way. I think the game is important to me for many different reasons. The creation of the game was really triggered by this traumatic
Wait, that's crazy.
Out of my youth.
I know a Jordan Edwards, not the same spelling as like what we just saw, if you even saw that, but I know a Jordan Edwards. That is crazy.
That surfaced during the lockdown, a very painful rupture that I had with my father because of my sexuality, and already very early on, because of playtesting the game or kind of having these open door moments where people could come and test the game, I noticed that it really resonated with a lot of people, and that the game opened for them maybe some ways of like reflecting or philosophizing on the topics that it offers. I would get messages that would be like, wow, you inspired me to start.
I'm just thinking, I guess so. I don't know if it's like when someone was a victim of police brutality and they went outside and like took a picture of the sky or something, or that's kind of what it feels like the passage of time, kind of, sort of, but also capturing the space. Maybe, or it's not related at all.
And like I'm journaling again, somehow sharing this very personal story made a lot of people feel really seen. I also think Plum Road Tea Dream is important to me
crazy.
because it's like this hugely collaborative work. There are often comments on this work of like, whoa, I never thought about making games by 3D scanning clay sculptures that you make in real life. Or we also made this theater piece out of Plum Road Tea Dream, and there people are like, okay, you're using a video game as a medium for a live performance. I've never seen this. So I also think we pushed some boundaries in some ways and kind of bridged the game sector and the arts a little bit more. And we're just hoping that a lot of people find their way to it, play it, and enjoy it, and that it triggers something for them, that they get something out of it.
July 2026 on Steam.
Hello and welcome back. I am joined by my lovely co-host Lori.
Hello.
And also here we have combat designer and also my former colleague, Stephen O. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Hanging in there. Weird times, but you know.
Sure. But it's good to see you again, you know?
Yeah, it's been a while. So let's just jump right in and get started. Can you talk to us a little bit about kind of your path to becoming a combat designer?
Yeah, so my path as coming to a combat designer, it's like I had very humble beginnings. I started off in Albany, New York. That's where I grew up. And my brother is a lot older than me, and he would introduce me to a bunch of comic books and action movies like the Five Deadly Venoms, Kid with the Golden Arms, and one of my favorites, you know, Bruce Leroy and the Last Dragon. And I just wanted to become these kind of characters. So I would start like taking gymnastics,
Bruce Leroy.
and doing
I've
kung
never
fu
seen this.
and that, just to be the character. And when I translated that energy into like making games, I like realized that not just being a game designer, I could also be a person that creates these sort of action figures or adversaries or even the heroes to allow people to feel like that.
I feel like I might have heard the name
person I was
before,
trying to
but no,
capture
I've
become
not
myself,
seen.
you know? So,
I've not seen.
Went to school for it. I went to school at Rochester Institute of Technology. I didn't know anything about programming really before that. I took like one class in high school, and RIT was just starting to have a games program, and I wanted to make sure that I can get into the program. I started talking I originally went there for IT, knowing that they're going to have this game program, and I lined all my classes to be like a good game designer and have them transfer over because I didn't have a whole lot of money to like stay there extra years. And then along the way, I met a lot of people that had been working in games and had an internship where they realized there's a specific role for a combat designer, a person who makes the enemies or a person who works on the hero and their interactions. So that was like my first foray into getting into realizing the role of a combat designer.
You said that you took like martial arts classes to that. So what was like, I guess, what was the process of like taking that experience from that and then like applying it to combat design?
Yeah, so like I grew up in like moving my body and understanding like punches and kicks, right? Being able to throw them yourself. And then you sort of get into the space where you're trying to like read your opponent. They're gonna start doing punches and kicks. And as I gotten older, I was like, okay, well, I can't just go out fighting everybody. And somehow like you've learned this kind of dialogue with the person that you're like sparring with or fighting with that I like really just couldn't get enough of. It's like that movie quote from The Matrix: you don't know somebody until you fight them, or you can really learn them as you fight them. Like you start to anticipate their movements, you make moves that you're trying to train them to do certain things, right? And that's great in real life, but you can't do that all the time. So I started playing fighting games, and back in the day, you know, PlayStation came with a demo of Tekken, and it had the same movements that I had like learned when I was growing up. So I started doing like amateur competitive Tekken matches all the way up until college. And in doing that, I learned like frame data and different things too. So it's a little bit of like learning how my body moved, understanding the mechanics of making a good punch, then being able to read that mechanic in the actual games, like how the characters were throwing punches and the frame data and the speed that it happens, that allowed me to take all that knowledge and translate it into, these are how we're going to make these characters readable. This is how we're going to make this style feel good. And then there's this meta style to it as well of like, okay, well, this is for a person who wants to be a rushdown character or a zoner. This is for the people that like grappling. And you just kind of have your expression. And then as you play your friends, you kind of know their behavior and you're like, okay, he knows that I'm going to do this and I know that he's going to do this. So that's how I counter it. You know? So a little bit of that.
You talked a little bit about it being kind of a dialogue and kind of learning how somebody fought. Like, I'm interested.
I'm just thinking about this. This is like the second fighting game interviews.
Like, this character's never been done before. What is your approach?
I guess
to
out of
coming
two.
up
There's
with
only
this
been two
initial
interviews so
concept
far.
of characters?
Yeah, you really want to come up with like, what's the core fantasy of this character? What is his background? What is their background? Why are they trying to express themselves through violence, right? Like, how are they going to communicate? So somebody who might grow up in an adversarial environment, they might feel more aggressive, or like, you have to beat people to the punch. Like, the world is so chaotic around me that I have to be more aggressive to get stability. So the first thing I just try to do is like, what is the character's fantasy, and then build that kind of backstory that fits with them. And then I look at gameplay moments that are going to support that. Like I just mentioned, if the person has to be hyper aggressive, then I'm like, okay, maybe their stance is always going to be slightly forward, and they're going to be in more aggressive pose, and they're going to have more dominating moves that like either armored or armored meaning like they absorb a hit while they're giving a hit, or if I'm going to make somebody who grew up in a little bit more naive or more playful, maybe they're going to be more standoffish back with back, or like they kind of think that even in the heat of battle, it's like a game, or like it's silly to them, it's like fun. They're going to be more like fluid in sort of their movements and playful in their actions. So you can have like two different fantasies that have these many different play styles that can even go with it. So
yeah, and another thing too is that you spoke about dialogue. How does combat design relate to other elements of the game, such as narrative?
I often think that like in a fight, you're going to have this natural back and forth of like taking turns. Basically, you're saying things and they're responding to it, right? So there's already this like action and response that comes from just the moveset alone. But you can tell a dialogue through, or a story really, through the environment. How did it change over time? And you don't always have to show damage on a actual character. You can show how things are breaking in the environment. You can show how this person's getting a little bit more desperate during the fight. How there is a reversal or double down. Basically, like, you think they're winning, and then they do something, and now you're losing. You know, you're on the back foot. So that's just the choreography of the fight, how it can turn into dialogue. But there's also like maybe they learned a new ability, maybe something that's unlocked from them, from a core memory. How does that fit into the story? How does this new unlockable mechanic fits thematically to where the character's goals are? And how does their opponent stand in the way of that goal? It's not always good versus evil. It might be my goals versus your goals. You want to, make the world feel all the pain that you felt, or you want to stop the world from feeling pain ever again, and that just puts us at conflict.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Favorite question. I have another question for you. Are there any types of styles of combat you've really yet to see in a game? And how would you kind of approach that? First of all, what are they? And then also, how would you kind of approach that and want to bring that into the game?
Oh, well, I feel like I've seen a lot of different martial arts, a lot of different styles in games, and I kind of specialize more so in melee combat. There's a lot of different ways to approach combat with like magical abilities or gunplay and different things. So I don't know if I can really speak to a style I haven't seen at all, because like even like capoeira, we're starting to see a bigger resurgence in that, but we haven't seen a whole lot of like African martial arts. I don't think there's like as popular or as documented in the world of like these different styles of African martial arts. And if I could speak to how to do it, I don't think I would give that away right away. I think that would be
good answer. Good answer.
Some African styles, but one might go with this approach where we're thought of life had started in Africa. What if the original African martial art is what it brings in all these other different styles
Like
Oh,
basically,
never mind.
the
Oh,
style
okay,
that
yeah,
you
that's,
know,
that's
whether it be
interesting.
Muay Thai, Taekwondo, or Taido, or something like that, evolved from that style.
I was
that
thinking, what
original
if the style isn't about violence? It's about creation. But I guess that would be magical.
martial arts style and that expressive style. So, you know, how could you make this a like interesting origin style that like encompasses the different things? So it's like, oh, you thought you knew this, but like I invented it, and I actually didn't share with you all the pieces. You just have like a fragment of everything I knew.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just like you didn't share
the
all
story.
ideas that you have right now. With
It
us.
wrote
I get
itself.
All right.
That's a freebie. Like you can try to do that. Go ahead and try. The other idea.
Yeah.
Talk after the call. You know? I got you.
So I kind of wanted to go back to when you were talking about your like taking martial arts and whatnot. What was your favorite like martial arts, I guess, inspired piece of media, like as in like a film or a video game that like really inspired, you know, you as a combat designer?
Oh yeah, there's several. I mean, even to this day, like I love John Wick movies. I love all these other new action films that are coming out. The earliest ones for me would have to be like Kid with the Golden Arms or Five Deadly Venoms. Five Deadly Venoms is sort of like
What was that movie?
Monkey
Man?
Avengers
Was that Monkey
before
Man?
They were Avengers, right? Like we had these 5 different styles that had these like tropes and things with them.
Monkey Man.
Like,
Yeah,
you
Monkey
start
Man.
to get the super abilities, the centipede really fast, the snake agile, the toad invulnerable.
That was
right?
a wild
And
movie.
how do they play together? So that was influential about like how do you come up with different techniques that speak to the theme of the character you're making, and then how can they be opposed to each other even if they've like learned from the same school. But the other one that was super influential to me, and I feel like it spawned like Dragon Ball Z in a way, is gotta be The Last Dragon, right? Like it's a
never
cult
mind.
classic. Maybe it's not
I was
the
talking about
absolute best movie on the
Wukong.
planet, right? But
Myth.
there's so many things about the character progression. Like you're already a master, but it's inside. Or, you know, you need to break through these own limitations that you have. And the glow is totally going Super Saiyan. And that's like a designer signature that I put in a lot of characters that I worked on. If you know, you know. Like a lot of the things that I worked on, they eventually get the glow or go Super Saiyan. Right? So
that's pretty
those
dope.
are a couple. I mean, there's so many more. The Raid for me, On Bak. I train Muay Thai to this day because of On Bak and things like that. So, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what that is.
It's anxiety. It's sad.
Yeah.
So good. Speaking of just the titles you've worked on, you've worked extensively in a lot of different games. Would you mind telling an audience a little bit more about some of those games that you've had the luxury of working on?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started making games I've been making games for over 10 years now, a bunch of little indie games, Mech Knight Chronicles to working on Project Spark to Fat Princess Adventures. But I think my big break was actually working on God of War 2018. I joined the team at a part of the projects where I had a lot of influence over the encounters.
Yeah.
And they really liked what I did, so they brought me back to be working on the grunts or like more basic units. So first I worked on how, with this new camera, how we're going to have these fights be readable and digestible and feel good. And then I worked on how do we make these creatures fit into this world a little better, and mini bosses and bosses. So I worked on Ragnarok and then the DLC Valhalla, where I combined both my encounters knowledge and my
This came out. Yeah, it came out before Laufey, so we probably could say.
And then I wanted to take all the things that I learned by hanging out with Kratos and some of the fantastic people at Sony Santa Monica to work on Black Panther, and that's where we got to hang out a little bit. And I learned so much on that team.
Oh, damn. I hope somebody gives Black Panther another shot, man. It's sad.
But sadly, you know, we can't really talk about it or show it or do anything about that. So now I'm just helping other studios with their projects, some big projects that are unannounced.
Get on Blade.
I won't be able to talk about that too much, but
Elbow with Blade.
Similar to the things that I've learned along the way so far.
Do you have any favorite combat moments among the games you've contributed to?
Oh, yeah, there's so many.
Favorite combat moments? That's a good question.
this is a huge moment for me on God of War 2018. I'm responsible for a lot of deaths in the basically Draugr pit. So that's where the bridge breaks and Atreus falls down, and then Kratos jumps in to jump down. And there are 3 heavy Draugrs that spawn in that fight, and that massacre a lot of people. So in playtest data, we see a heavy drop off of like people struggling with that part. But once you get past that, you're prepared for the rest of the game. Like once you're able to overcome that challenge, you have all the tools that you need to beat.
I don't remember the
game.
Draugr.
So even though it is a frustrating moment for a lot of people, I think it did help a lot of people get into learn to play the actual game instead of relying on like first tier tactics, like early tactics. The other moment on 2018 that I really enjoy is actually right in front of the stonemason fight. There's 3 different superpower Draugrs that come out, and you think that this is kind of the fight. These 3 units on their own can make an interesting encounter. But actually, we bring back an old trope from the previous God of War games where we spawn a large creature. It used to be a Cyclops. For us, it was an ogre. And then we spawn another ogre. So right when you think like you fought this one challenging fight to like now there's an ogre, and then there's like 2 ogres. How am I ever going to do this? But it's set up in such a way that the pacing of the encounter empowers you to get over it. So you're at first you should feel the threat of it. But as you overcome that fight, you're like, oh yeah, I am awesome. I am the God of War. I totally like can handle all these things. So those 2 moments, like frustrating moment that turns into like now you have the skills to beat the game.
I'll have to look back at my playthrough. I'm like, I don't remember at all.
I was scared, but it's actually a totally doable fight.
How do you balance that? Because as you know, we've worked on projects together, and sometimes fine-tuning and balancing encounters and combat can prove to be a challenge in and of itself. So kind of what's your approach to just making sure things just feel good?
Yeah. So my approach to like making things feel good is first just like I always tune or start fighting an encounter with the most basic things. Like I always just use basic attacks, and if I'm making a creature or a boss or an encounter, I always should be able to defeat it with just pressing the simple attack button, blocking and dodging, and take 0 damage. That lets me know that the animations are readable, the pacing is correct. Maybe there's, if I do get hit, then like, okay, I need to like time out, or I need to put a piece of health or something that you can like recharge yourself into the fight. And then the other parts is just like thinking about the fairness and the fatigue that you might have after seeing X amount of units, X amount of heavy fights, X amount of times where you needed to parry or in one particular encounter, and how much time that encounter is going to be. So if you're fighting a boss, maybe that's 4 minutes, and like, all right, well, I need to balance. I have to play this with my very basic defending, punching, and not get hit for 4 minutes straight. That could be really taxing for somebody. So how do I make the character interesting enough in those 4 minutes that somebody's not overstimulated or fatigued by doing all the actions that they have to do? So it's super high level. I'd love to go into more detail about it, but like that's kind of where I start.
That's pretty interesting.
No, I appreciate that. No, good.
Yeah. I think something that I'm really curious about too, like when you're doing the balancing, like what is your, I guess, the priority you think about in terms of combat? Because I always think about like when I'm playing a game, do you think more about like the offensive, I guess, or like more of like the defensive or like magical parts, or like I don't know if that makes sense, but like what do you try and prioritize, I guess, when you are starting, like when you're planning that out for combat?
So, it's we were saying dialogue before, but it's really about the dance. Like even if you go back to those movies that I was talking about, they're not really fighting. They're kind of like doing this sequence of dance moves, so they're your dance partner. So how do you make this person interesting? It's not just about defense. If the player's just defending, then that doesn't feel really good. I'm just kind of waiting for my turn, and then I parry, and then I just beat them up or something, right? So what other action verbs can we get? I need to dodge out of the way. Sometimes I need to parry. Is this my opportunity to take my turn back? Can I do this risky thing sometimes? If I do the risky thing sometimes and I win, great. But sometimes I do the risky thing and I get punished. And I was like, I shouldn't have been able to do that. And that needs to be clear. So my priorities start off with, how do we make this dance interesting? Both the player and the combatant have verbs where they can go back and forth with each other. How do I make it readable is the second part. Now that we have those verbs, you need to defend at this time. I need to signal to you that this is the move that you need to get out of the way of. And then this is the move that you need to block. Or this is the move that you need to interrupt, right? And then the third part is like, well, how much damage or like how many tries do you get at those attempts? If the player is getting hit once and the game is over, that can be really stressful. But maybe some attacks are more punishing than others. So now that's that signature kind of, and sometimes we call it like the signature kill move, where it's like, I need to watch out for that because it's just going to level me, you know? So, and then you just want to make that like a part of that core kit, that was the one interesting thing that I had to remember. And maybe I have a signature move too that I want to land. I need to be able to clean
I had to
from
learn that
dodge, left
in
or right,
God
and
of War,
that's where
actually,
you
doing
get
those
the
Valkyrie fights.
correction, the right side.
Whole
Even
different
it is
thing.
All the harder to kind of hear you dive into the nitty gritty of combat design. I've heard it several times, and every single time I feel like I leave learning something new. So
yeah, this
thank
was
you
a
so
good
much for
interview.
joining us. Where can people find you on the internet?
Yeah, you can find me on my LinkedIn, Stephen O with GBA, and yeah, I'm happy to help you craft battles that everybody can win. And it's always great meeting you guys. Thanks for having me.
I'm back again to remind you of the XP Fund, because your contributions can help get the next great indie game off the ground. Consider supporting by scanning the QR code.
Granny used to tell me all manner of stories about rolling calf and how I'm used to start the countryside. About River Muma and the golden table she had take time guard out by Flatbridge.
River
About the 3
Muma.
foot horse and him not afraid of moonlight. About Old Hig who are gallivant all night without skin. About Crocodile Man and how you know if I answer him if him nap 3 times. She even tell me about the La Diablesse, where there are 1 co-host and 1
Devil
bananas.
Woman.
How about how Sly Mongoose teeth out one of the man righteous chicken then? Hey, those were good times, you know? Good times.
Interesting.
I've been waiting to take a deep dive into the abyss, but I missed my chance to advance and enhance considerably makeshift. Zero heroes held red scar tissue abrasive.
Oh my god. I remembered it was Jay and Silent Bob. That was the game, the demo that I had played. I can't remember why I was bringing this up. Alright, was it the stream from yesterday or the day before? I have no idea. I finally remembered the name. It just randomly came to me. I think it was like the slime graphic in one of the games. Oh my god. I'm sure this is so random for people that are like, what is she talking about? But for me, I'm like, oh, the weight has been lifted from my mind. I was trying to think of it for the longest time. The synapse finally snapped.
Another term turns families into nothing. For greater good, I can understand. I gotta remain afloat. No lane left stain. Is it insane how I name my quotes? I speak into existence. A brief relief condition. Couldn't occupy the sky without permission. As long as the spell cast, my name.
Don't do that, dude. Don't do that. I'm not crazy. I was talking about something and I couldn't remember the name. Beat Down City Survivors. It's got a dog. Game of the year. See that you gave a look.
My name's Xavier B. Johnson, and this is Diesel Knights.
Ooh, we got wall running. Let me tell you what, I was not expecting Mouse PI to have so much parkour stuff. I was very surprised by that. Indigo Nights.
Hi, I'm Indigo Doyle, creative director at Pushing Vertices, located in
This
Toronto,
is
Canada,
the
where we're
second or
making
third
Roller
time.
Girl, a slice of life adventure
Reminds
about
me, I need to
Naomi,
finish this
a
Call of Duty
16-year-old girl
showcase.
in the
I need to
2000s,
finish watching.
vibing with her rollerblades and her MP3 player. This game is a love letter to my childhood, rollerblading through the quiet streets of my hometown with my own
I
personal.
was like, this is not what I signed up for.
Secret. I love rollerblading and music. And that's why we spent a long time perfecting the movement in the game.
It wasn't horrible. Oh, this is cool, B-roll. We haven't seen that before.
A soundtrack for how I'm feeling.
It wasn't the worst. It could have been worse, Stitch. It could have been worse. But it definitely was like
your perception of the world. From happy.
Jack know how to do a lot of stuff. Why did he know how to do so much?
The mood influences other characters' responses to you and your dialogue options. Key story moments also impact the mood. We are curating a soundtrack inspired by 2000s pop punk by connecting with local indie bands. So far, we're featuring artists Narima and King Faz. There's something about the way it feels to effortlessly glide down a smooth street. Your favorite music playing in your earbuds, and for a moment, it's like time stops, and you're just in a flow state. That's what Roller Girl represents. Your wheels on, your music up, and the freedom to move. The freedom to explore and learn about yourself as you go. You start the game and you've just gotten your first
wait until I need to upload or edit the vlog where I was ice skating.
You lace up your
I did not look like
grab
this.
Your MP3 player. You do odd jobs around town, stumble into a romance, and uncover a juicy town mystery.
Ooh,
I don't know about you, but I used to spend a lot of time in my head. Back in the day, I would rollerblade around my hometown, inventing backstories for my neighbors. There's a certain charm to small towns, and I can't wait for you to poke around and find the little stories I've hidden behind fences and around corners. Thanks for taking this tour with me, and thank you to the Black Voices in Gaming Showcase. I can't wait to see you find your vibe in Roller Girl.
See, when I was ice skating, I was like trying. I was learning. I'm like, you gotta stand up straight. You can't be crouching over. I kind of want to like. It kind of made me want to skate more. But I also need like a helmet and stuff because I was at risk of falling constantly, basically. Roller Girl, which is now on Steam. Pushing Vertices.
We are back with Black Voice in Game. You see how that we just like push right into it. I am here with Lizette and Marcus Montgomery, Cornerstone Studios, and they are working on your first game as a studio, which is Carrier Cuties. It has like a really interesting premise to it for sure. But I want to know how you guys started Cornerstone Studios, because it's like you guys are like super vets. Even I'm
we got a Boondocks varsity jacket.
You guys have done it puts me in awe. So can you guys talk about how you started the studio and a little bit about your background?
I kind of want to watch the Boondocks again.
Yeah, we're not new to this. We've been doing this for
That's a good show.
Almost 3 decades. Some of us have been doing it for 3 decades. So we've worked in console, AAA, small studios, and we were kind of at a point in our careers where we were trying to figure out what was next. We've worked with the biggest titles and the biggest IPs in the world, so we thought the next step for us was making our own IP and starting our own studio.
That's super awesome. And kind of what led you to, you guys know I'm a big fighting game fan. It's like my favorite genre. I play every fighting game. How did you kind of come up with this style of game and kind of want to make a fighting game for your first title?
A lot of this comes back inherently. I'm coming from that arcade area.
Makes sense.
That arcade era where fighting games was really prevalent. I like that twitch, fast responsive sort of gameplay. It's a lot of the games I've worked on prior have had that. And so this is kind of just falls into that pocket. To really get into what inspired this, I think, Lisette, maybe we should talk about our grandson a bit.
Yeah, we've got a grandson. He's 6, and one of the things we love to do is like break out old consoles and old games and just have fun with him and relive the nostalgia of us playing as a child with our grandson. And one day we broke out the Dreamcast and put in Power Stone, and we were just having a blast. Particularly my grandson Morris, was having an amazing time. And we were like, what happened to this game and why hasn't it come back? And everyone we talk to has like such affinity for it. They're like, oh, I remember that game.
Yeah.
They get this like the total like twinkly eye look to it. And I'm like, so what happened? And I was like, well, maybe if we bring this back with like a fresh IP and make it like, update the mechanics and, bring it into an area where co-play and like team-based mechanics are sort of like pushed a little bit further. And so, that's how I kind of got the ball rolling. It was just a fun playtime with our grandson.
That's amazing. And you were mentioning this earlier, you have a collection of like a vast collection of games?
Been collecting games for a very, very long time. Between the different eras, we even go back to the Atari, but the Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, Saturn games.
Saturn? That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah. My first job in the industry was at Sega. And so,
really?
Yes, so I have a huge affinity for Sega and their the litany of games that they have. But we've been collecting and carrying a bunch of different digital and physical media for a while, so our collection is pretty big.
So,
it also doesn't help that you have like an encyclopedic knowledge of game design, so that also
really
helps.
that's I may need to hit you up about that. Not for my own,
do tell.
Resources and whatnot. No, that's really cool. So, if you're looking at your library of games and your grandson, was a little bit frustrated at some of the games that he's playing, what made you like decide to pick this one? Like from, you know what I mean? You're just like, do you remember this particular Power Stone? And you're just like,
with kids, you expose them to a lot of different things. You never know what's going to stick, and so we're always, since he comes over and plays with us, there's certain things he likes and certain things he wants to play because he's familiar with them. But we also want to expose him to new things, and the Dreamcast is one of those things, and Power Stone is one of the many things that we tried. That was one of the first things that he really attached, and he would ask about it. And it was a lot of it also is because I have the old arcade stick as well. So
you had the arcade stick?
Yeah, and he saw the stick and he was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Come, son, let me show you what this is about." Yeah,
fantastic.
To
expose.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
And we really love the fact that we found something we could connect with him, and we find that to be a very unique experience, and we want to make sure that how can we replicate that, not just for us, but for other people as well. There's a lot of nostalgia around these sort of games, and people of our age may want to be able to share it with the kids that they have, and we think that we have a unique way to kind of bridge that intergenerational play.
That's cool. So rolling into this, Lizette, like how did you come up with this particular game? And then can you talk about the premise of it, because it's extremely interesting.
I think all good games that kind of hit the zeitgeist often reflect like the conversation we're currently having, and the conversation we are all currently having is AI. So
like a 90s rap song.
So I was like, let's and there's this assumptions that we all come to, which is like, we're all going to eventually be killed by robots. So let's just play out to the worst scenario what that may look like and make it absurd. So
no hope.
I started thinking about what
doom and gloom.
A post-AI world would look like, and I'm like, well, our pets are still here.
I was trying to think, what is the opposite of hopium? Like,
what would that look like?
Doomerism?
What would they do with their free time? And then you start doing these really silly, like, world and logic exercises, and then you end up with some really wild story, and that's kind of how we ended up here.
I can't remember.
Carrier Cuties takes place in the future, where AI does what AI is going to do, and eventually humans are extinct. And our pets essentially become sentient and take over the world we've left behind. And they build battle bots in the shape of their former owners to battle out.
I know what this is.
That's sort of the
I know what this is.
So they died. So their owners straight up are gone. and then they're just like remembering their humans.
Yes.
Did the pets didn't kill them? AI killed them.
Yeah, killed them.
Because I'm like, this is so
How
sad.
did that? What happened?
Like AI killed them. You know,
Yeah.
AI's gonna do what they're gonna do.
Yeah. So let's jump into it. We're gonna play, and then I think it would be really interesting to just kind of go over the character design, the pet design, and then kind of your approach to art, you know, and that kind of thing. So I'm gonna try to play and talk at the same time.
I will give you some tips as we're playing.
Okay.
You know, just press X and Y a lot, and you'll be fine.
Okay. So what's the character?
So
this particular
yeah,
character.
the dogs in the mix.
Our boxer.
Well, I guess
and
animals.
Our boxer.
Oh, different dog mech game. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, we did see this one recently.
So essentially, the boxer pet is piloting his Humech, as we call it.
Humech.
Yeah.
And essentially, they appear as humans at first, and as you sort of unlock super modes, they're robotic.
So was that his owner, or he just like, I want to be a buff dude?
You guys have pets, dogs.
Yes, we do.
Because the scoop. That's notorious. That's when you're like, when you're like, what the hell are you doing?
It's time for a bath.
Yeah, it's you gotta handle that. You gotta handle that in pleasant ways. But you know, we really want to pull in the humor as much as we can of the characters that we have. You know, and you know, while this is still early, we want to be able to represent the humor and the character and the humanity of it all. So very much like the classic Power Stone game, you've got dive kicks.
Wait, something come out.
Pick up
What
and
the
push
heck?
different
Who
objects
would
in the
that?
world. Pick up tables, throw them at your opponent. Ooh. There's hazards in the world as well.
Into the stove.
Who is this dog that's looking at us sideways?
So you can also use the world to your advantage.
Should I have like homing gloves?
Yeah, the rocket fists.
So how did I get this power up right here?
So there's power cells, like you just, as you finish, much like the classic game, there's power cells that will spawn across the map. And if you're able to pick up
Looks like a meme.
You're able to then transform into what would be eventually your pet mech. That's not represented in this prototype build, but that is something that we will have in the future.
Wait, what does that mean? What do you mean?
Like it looks like an animal.
When you get your 3 power stones, you stay in your boxer form, but are debuting a new character with the new build where you're actually going to switch into your pet mech form.
Really?
So you're going to have more pet-like abilities once you get your super move.
Oh, I got deaded.
You can see the pet mech in our current trailers.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's
I don't know if
right.
it's just
Okay,
the way
that's
that they're
awesome.
playing it, but there hasn't been a lot of like boxing, like straight up boxing. They've been like just throwing stuff at each other. I don't know if it's because of the interview or what, but I was trying to see some boxing.
We already have debuted. I mean, you guys debuted it, so
you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
People who were on site at the Mix were able to see the actual maquette that I built.
Oh, that was cool. So talk a little bit about like the kind of practical creation of the characters.
Yeah, so one of the things when we were talking about what we wanted to do with Studio, I also wanted to change my process of how I created characters and assets, and try to take advantage of, you know, all the new technology we have with photogrammetry. So, and my natural ability.
There we go.
to
We're
sculpt
getting
with
into the
physical
scrap.
material and clay. So I'm building all the characters in physical clay, scanning them in using photogrammetry, retopologizing them, and then animating them for
more photogrammetry.
combat. And you can also see like, you know, the visual effects. So we're taking advantage of, you know, the style and uniqueness that we get from physical materials, and then also, you know, taking advantage of all of the wonderful things that Unreal 5 affords us to kind of push the dynamics and the style and the interactivity of the characters in the world. So it's been, you know, it's a nice mix for me where I get to get physical and use my hands, and then I can get digital and take advantage of, you know, the advantages that come with that.
That's still.
So how does this differ from when you were at Double Fine? I mean, you've been, like you said, close to 3 decades. How does this differ? I mean, because you wanted to get it more hands-on, but when you were at previous studios, how did you develop art there? Because you were directed and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I started as a character modeler for 12 years, worked my way up until I became like a lead and an art director. So most of my process has always been digital. If maybe at the beginning when we're kind of dealing with sketching and doing brainstorms and loose sketches of a character, you get paper and you get hands-on with some oil and paint. But once it gets into the 3D phase, often you're in a digital space. And so for me, I really wanted to take advantage of designing things physically first so that the toys feel great in their hands. Often I've worked in games where we create characters and we don't really see them in 3D physical form until we've made a toy, and by then the design is kind of sealed. So I wanted to nail that down early and make sure it's something like a kid wants to pick up and play with.
So you're thinking of like just in general the 360 aspect of how the game will feel, not only as a game but also if kids want to play it, and then probably animation and like just different mediums. Is that? I guess I'm making assumptions right now.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking more like the toy element.
Okay,
right? I've worked on games where we, designed the characters and mostly digitally, and then when we get to the merch element, the designs fall flat. And there's just a huge amount of opportunity and affinity that people have for their characters, and we want to make sure that the toys and the merch will also reflect that.
That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about the Waffle House, because that's a very iconic.
I wonder if they would do like some. The Waffle House. Yeah. We did see this recently. I remember seeing that, but I wonder if they would do some type of like amiibo kind of thing, because I think Nintendo pretty much is the only company that does like the amiibo kind of thing. There's like Skylanders, but I'm not sure Skylanders is like widely popular like amiibos are, or at least like they have been in the past. I don't know. Sounds like they could go an amiibo route.
Cultural situation, you know what I'm saying? What other, you know what I mean? Like what other kind of cultural references as far as environments are you guys gonna have? Because no one's really doing that.
Well, we know, and we if you think about this world that we've built, we've very much thought about how would these pets think? And if they're emulating their former masters, they would fight in the same areas that their former masters fight. So, Waffle House, Black Friday.
Black Friday at the Wolf Mart or something like that? Exactly.
The county fair.
Yo, the county fair. The swap meet. This is going super like, you know what I mean?
Pachella.
Pachella?
Like all these different things, right?
Pachella.
Outside the porta potties, all these, like, where do people fight? At Little League games.
Where do people fight?
But the thing is, this is kind of an extraction. Exactly. It's an extraction of where would people fight.
Well, essentially, if AI
Where do
engulfs all
people
of
fight?
World Star,
Freaking
where fight?
reality TV now.
That is fantastic. Yeah. That is so amazing. I want to see I know you don't have it in here, but the bystanders. For people who don't have the
What was the last fight you saw in real life? I'm trying to think.
What are the things my grandson was asking for?
I feel like it was in high school, honestly. I don't think I ever saw a fight in college.
That is so good.
Outside of, I guess, boxing, like sparring, but that's not really what they mean.
Yeah. So we're looking into, like, a lot of this is, there's so much to be explored, right? There's so many, callbacks and references that we want to pull into the game itself. And we can build into this that we are really excited to kind of chase down.
What other animals are going to be debuted in the game?
Yeah, we've actually done some really great explorations.
I guess you could do like
our character lineup,
NBA, like on the court or something. NFL on the field.
Connie Kang. She
doesn't
one
really
of her
count,
books is
though,
called
does it?
Metamorphia, and she kind of focuses on like this really great translation of animals into human. And so we wanted to kind of play on like what would a house pet look like, and the likeness between a pet and their owner. And so we're kind of playing around with birds.
Nice.
Anything you consider a house pet: turtles, cats. Of course, you're gonna have a cat and a dog. Rats, even we're even looking into like
Rats.
Get like a rat or a gerbil.
Shadow
maybe.
Pizza Rat.
Yeah, your typical
Pizza
house
Rat
pet.
kind of falling
That's
over there,
super
but
cool.
he's there.
So what do you like? How far are you into? I know you guys are pretty early on. How far are you into development, and kind of where are you gonna go from here?
This is probably 5%, if that, right? We are at the beginning of our journey.
Yeah.
And one of the
I forgot
things
to tell you how this dude fell off his bike while I was taking a walk earlier. Ooh.
This is just even the
He
start
fell
of our
off of his bike?
right? And there's still a lot of look
How did that happen?
There's a lot of mechanics to integrate. There's a lot of different things that
He,
I
like,
want to try and get into
slid,
the game. I want to try and push
hit a rock.
this so that the game is very approachable for intergenerational play.
Did you
so
help
play
him?
with your kids. But I very much think of this as like play with your kids, put your kids to bed, play with your friends, right? And when you're playing with your friends, you want a little bit more depth. And I want to put a lot more emergent or discoverable mechanics that can be in here to kind of push the play space a bit.
The way they're
You have
playing
games
so
like
far, it seems like the
Power
meta
Cell,
is
where
hit him
whenever
with
you
the
get knocked down,
object,
you only lose one
punish.
power cell. I'm thinking, what if we added a little bit
Navy
more skill
gal.
into it, where
Trying to swerve away from a car
if
and
you
panic.
throw
Crazy,
an
right? The car wasn't
object
even
and
close
it's
to
kind of
him.
not targeted or automatically thrown at the person, but you're leading the person, and you hit them at a particular distance, it might drop 2 power cells as opposed to 1. Right? Trying to find ways to add a little bit more nuanced play so that you can discover new tactics to outplay.
Didn't hit the car, only hit the road.
That's
Only hit the ground.
I remember, I'm a big fan of Power Stone 2. Power Stone 2 felt less of a fighter because the worlds were everything was moving.
I haven't seen anybody fall off their
that kind of
bike on
thing.
one time.
But it'd be interesting to see what you guys do with the environments, even extending
was almost
and that
me
kind of thing. So
months
that's
ago.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
One of the best things I think about Power Stone 1 or that sort of thing is we want to make sure that the
Central
game
Park is
focused
very hilly.
on,
You wouldn't think it,
defeating
but
the other
it's
team
very
and
hilly.
working together with your partner to make that happen, right? The character, the arena itself is a character, and we want to make sure that the arena is kind of shines as well. Being able to kind of expand the play space, think of like being able to knock people through the walls, as we talked about earlier, through the window, and then be able to fight in the parking lot, right? So there's a lot of places to take this game and to explore different mechanics and different events.
Yeah, we really want to make sure the environment feels dynamic and that you can throw a character in front of a moving subject.
I almost feel like there needs to be more
Time hazard. So we're kind of really
like
looking at making
players
the
in
arena
this.
character element. So
The arena feels
it
too
adds
big.
a level of randomness that makes
For two.
every match fun.
Yeah. And the pets aren't going to get hurt.
At least
Of course, that's why they're in the box.
Okay, that's
how I
yeah,
perceive it from just watching
in
this.
front of a subway, you can't help them.
You can't. You can pet the pet mechs, but they're bots.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So where can we find out more about Carrier Cuties, Cornerstone?
You can find our Steam page, Carrier Cuties, Pets and Mechs, but we also have a site that you can go to. It's really easy.
1v1? I thought it was just a demo for the interview.
Studio. Start page.
I want to say it's not, but I don't know. I want to say it's not though. Unsure.
And you'll be able to look up, find more about our Discord and be able to join, be able to wish list and even see more updates that are coming.
That's why I'm not judging too harshly because like I was saying earlier, like I don't know if it's just because like they're trying to have a conversation, so like they're not like fighting as hard as maybe they would be if they were just focused on playing the game. But yeah, it looks too large for 1v1. I agree, but it's also like, this game is in active development and all of the things. So that's just my take on what we saw today. Could be completely different. Actually, this was showcased yesterday, so it could be completely different today.
You can follow us on socials at Seastone Studio.
Seastone Int Studio.
I like the character design though.
I was like,
she was
hesitated, like Seastone
Int
She was right about
and that's on all platforms.
the character designs.
Well, thank you guys for coming through and allowing us to play your game, and congrats on everything. I mean, jumping in feet first to make a game in a studio is not easy.
Thank you for having us.
It is not for the weak.
No, not at all.
For the weak. Yep.
All right. On to the next segment, too. This was awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shoulder work. Go north. Oh, we montaging? Toss down. Fur factor. My cooperative turn. I didn't get to see a scrub and trouble. Let's play solo. Oh, here it is, Jay and Silent Bob. See, if I had waited some time, it would have came back up. Burn my dream. I recognize it. I know what you are. That'd be funny if I was completely wrong, but it did sound like that first line. I was thinking about that, like, it was a while ago. I'm like, you don't really hear a lot of, like, modern game samples, I feel like. Either that, or I'm not listening to the right people. So this is, like, notably the first one I heard. I'm like, well, is Persona 3 modern? I guess it depends. Depends on your perspective. Modern-ish. More modern than most video game samples.
Excited for all of them, but like, what was your favorite?
I think my standout would have to be Jay and Silent Bob. I mean, I'm a longtime Jay and Silent Bob fan, so just that nostalgia alone was enough to get me pumped up and excited, for sure.
Valid.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to give a big shout out to all of our devs today, Jesse, Steve,
You didn't ask her what her favorite was.
Cornerstone team. Be sure to put a lot of those games, most of those games, on your wish list while you can, and we are going to toss it over back to Justin.
Thank you, Curtis and Lori, for hosting the show. Great to see you guys, and loved those interviews. Love the devs and all the so good. Thank you all for tuning in, and the developers who are participating in these showcases and in this one in particular. Make sure to follow the developers on their socials, wishlist buy, and play their demos. If you are interested in helping to fund some of those projects that you saw on the show, you could donate to the XP Fund through the QR code on the screen, and connect with us if you're interested in additional investment opportunities. We have to give it up to our partners, No Rivals, Aurora Broadcasting for being on the ones and twos, Raw Fury for helping to make this thing possible, and our broadcasting partners, Summer Game Fest. Thanks for including us again, Twitch, IGN, GameSpot, and Steam. Make sure to catch all of the other awesome showcases happening this week. There's so many of them. The Latin America Games Showcase, Women-Led Games, Southeast Asia Game Showcase, Frosty Games Fest, Wholesome Direct, Story Rich, Planet Play, India Game Showcase, Day of the Des, and more. My head's about to pop. Again,
yeah, that's how I felt seeing that graphic yesterday. Not yesterday, 2 days ago.
Platform. See you guys soon, and peace.
There we go. That's another one in the books. Hopefully, they will have some of those games showcased at the Mix live event. I'll be going to that, so should be cool. Should be cool. But now it's time. Speaking of demos, we're checking out Onimusha. What am I connected to right now? Let me see. Let me go back here. Some music. Okay, no, that is the wrong one. What's up? Come on. There we go. Okay. Wish I was done working so I could play the game. Done working? Real work or FS? Well, I guess not real work, like job work. There you go. Bada bing, bada boom. It took me 24 hours to beat Mouse PI. 24 hours. 9 to 5 work bleeding into your evening. Oh no. No me gusta. I know exactly how that is. Wrap up the missing magician case. Wait a minute, what? How did I not do that? Is it like you have to find every single clue and I missed it? Win 30 baseball cards, matches, home run. System region, 7. Oh. See, pin every clue. If I pinned every clue, how I not solve it? Collect all issues. Yeah, I didn't go back to the shop. Find key clues and the missing. Wait, so how if I I don't understand. That feels like one you should get. Complete every side job. Yeah, I definitely didn't do that. Upgrade every weapon. Nah, I didn't do that either. Collect all the counter shits. Nah, I didn't do that. Kick the Wallop Bay shark till it drops the license plate. The Shrew Case trophy I didn't get either. Wrap up the Shrew Case. You feel like find key clues. On one baseball card match. Yeah, the ray gun thing. Wrap up the Blue Betty case. Okay. Case closer, is it? So, I guess I did all the Blue Betty stuff because I'm not missing a trophy for that. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. Alright. Let's check out Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Let me update my stuff. Actually, update my categories and whatnot. Let's see. Plus Onimusha. I missed a U. I misplaced the U. Onimusha demo. So let's see, I'll update all those and then I'll update Twitch. Check out Ooh, I'm liking the music. How which one is this? Way of the Sword, yep. Alright, let's get it. Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Health warning. Let's see. Demo differs in some regards to full game as the demo only basic controls and features have been implemented. A bonus is available for full game for those who play the demo. That RE engine. No save data. It's because I've never played this before. Never opened it. Created a save. English. Ooh. I could go spicy and just go Japanese. But I would not be able to read anything. Voice language. Ooh, that is a good question. I feel like let's try Japanese. Let's see. Well, connect to the internet, meaningful, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I agree. Adjust blacks to try to match the minimum brightness. Just until the grid is barely visible. Oh, I can't see that. Barely. It like completely disappeared. Yeah, go back. Do that one. Do this one. Overall brightness. Trying to count for different display types. Barely visible, it says. Yeah, go like that. That should be good. Subtitles. Show headphones. Prioritize performance. This can only be used with 120 hertz enabled displays. Does that mean the frame rate will be achieved? Okay. Fixed frame rate. Sure, the frame rate stays at a constant. Constant 40. Let's do. Oh, I only got. Okay. Yeah, go 60. Don't need that. Don't need that. Enemy deaths enable dismemberment. Okay. I don't need that. I don't think I'll need it. The following settings will be applied. Like everything. I wish you could just like pick one thing, but no, wait, no, don't actually wait. No, reset that. Wait, yeah. Okay. Close. My age. Good grief. What? Everybody look away! Okay. Alright. Capcom will collect your play data. Privacy. Okay. Autosave. Got it. Okay. We finally got to it. New game settings. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't need to mess with the settings, right? Let's see. We got subtitles. That's all I'm looking for. Let's go. Let's see. Select the difficulty. Story. Difficulty level. Those who focus on the story recommended for action game beginners. Action. The difficulty level for those who like challenging battles. Difficulty will keep you on your toes. Recommended for experienced action game players. Difficulty can be changed freely. There's no penalty for changing it. Let's go action. Aggressive layout or defensive layout. Control layout. Focus on responsiveness. Where most action layout buttons are grouped to the right. Evade. Two-handed attack. One-handed block. I don't know if I like that. Oh, you can't change that, so. What's the difference? Oh, block, parry, or examine. Where does block? Oh, block, parry goes. No, I prefer the defensive. Yeah, I prefer the defensive. It's like item, use item. Yeah. Product is a work of fiction created by Capcom that happens to be set in Kyoto. The people, organizations, legends, histories, and themes depicted are not intended to reflect or support any particular worldview. Ooh, somebody might say something. Against his will, Miyamoto Musashi has become an Onimusha, carving a path through the Genma monstrosities invading the capital. Musashi finds himself at Kiyomizu-dera Temple, where he has been tasked with purifying the key sanctuary. A host of eerie phenomena play out before Musashi's eyes as he traverses the twisted, malice-writhed temple grounds, accompanied only by the mysterious voice that rings out from his Oni gauntlet. Having defeated the Genma that stood in his way, Musashi is greeted by a long-standing rival that he has crossed swords with many a time.
ここが清水寺か？本当に一瞬で着いちまったな。
Oh wow, okay.
小手の女に起きてもらう。
In the game.
そのためにはこの寺を浄化するしかねえ。か。
What is though? Storehouse. You can use spirit mirrors to save your progress at any time. Additionally, making contact with spirit mirror will restore your health completely. Oh, I see what time we're on. I see what time we're on. Oh, this is looking good. Is it washed out? Is it washed out because the game just looks washed out, or stream looks a little bit more washed out than my thing? I don't know. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. Display. HDR might be on. That might be why. Automatically enable. Disabled it. I want to turn that off. I think the brightness should be okay. It's just like, maybe it's the color space. They got me doing Blender stuff in here. Dang. I'll leave it alone for now. Usually HDR is the source of all my problems. I'm assuming HDR is not on. Hopefully. I don't know. Maybe it just looks like this. Foggy area. Maybe that's what it is. Sprint. Oh. Getting a crow. What in the hickories? Alright, stamina and break Isen. Let's see, break Isen. Triangle near an exhausted enemy. Without stamina, the body. Okay. The body cannot do as the mind wishes. Land attacks on enemies in a flight there. So deplete the stamina, they become exhausted and open to break Isen attacks. Enemy stamina is low. Their body will turn red and crack. Deplete stamina will recover over time, so keep a close eye on your opponent if you want to exploit the advantage it offers. Oh, they didn't even... Okay. Okay. Overrun souls will make various enhancements available. They are left behind by fallen enemies, and finishing an enemy with a break E7 will make even more of them appear. Alright. Absorb. Oh. Cool. Oh. Yep, I am here. Oh. Ooh. Wait, turn around. Oh, dang it, I missed it. Oh, wait, get him, get him, get him, get him. Yeah. Let me get my stuff.
Oi. 建物は全部片付けたぞ。どうしてくれ。
感謝いたします、お侍様。少しお待ちください。助かりました。あのまま門を破られていたら、ここに逃げ込んだ者たちも皆殺しにされていたことでしょう。もはや境内は人の命をもてあそぶ化け物どもの巣窟。このような非道、御仏がお許しになるはずがありません。
Okay, I guess we're done talking to him.
しょっぱなからこのありさまかよ。先が思いやられるな。
These people are sick or something. What this is? Mild restorative. Down to use an item. Okay, so if I want to do that. Okay, gotcha.
Oh. 5体満足でここまで戻れるとは御仏のご加護だ。
そこまで荒れてんのかよ、この先は。
鬼畜がはびこり賛美の極みです。進むつもりであればおよしなさい。
鬼畜ね。上等じゃねえか。
Are you good? Okay, we don't care.
あの高台か。どうやって行きゃいいんだ。
Main menu. Make your way to the stage. We got quite the long, winding path over here. The stage is set at Kiyomizu. Okay. I mean, I guess maybe it's not that long. We covered a lot of ground pretty quickly. Looks long. Okay, there's nothing over there. Oh, there's more people. The Sashi do not care about these people. Oh. Parries and blazing state. L1 just before being hit. Blocking just before enemy lands. Attacks or an enemy attack lands will trigger a parry. Parrying weapon based attacks will open up a window of vulnerability. The larger the window, the more impressive effects you'll see. L1 just before you hit. Parry enemy strikes to fill your blaze gauge and enter the blazing state, during which time you will deal greater damage. You will remain in the blazing state until the blaze gauge empties. No! Oh, get him. Let's see, basic control. Hopefully I don't need to read that, and that's just a recap. Reflex dodges and reflex combos. Circle just before being hit. Fills your reflex gauge, and you press square triangle to unleash a deadly reflex combo. Quickest way to fill the reflex gauge. Quickest way to fill it is to reflex dodge unarmed attacks, but any reflex dodge will help at least. Oh, I skipped one thing. Okay. Add insult to injury, reducing stamina with the counter, evading an unarmed attack. Okay. I was trying to see what that was. Ooh. Come on, bro. This is definitely a more patient type of... Dang, he got a spear in his back. No! Lock on. Ooh. How do I get that one? Wait. Yellow souls are sometimes left behind by defeating enemies or to restore your health. The lower your health, the more your enemies will leave behind. Alright, hold on. Don't stop. Stop. Oh, there we go. No! Oh, oh. What is the... Oh! Wait, how do I get up there? Ooh! What is... Lesser defense talisman reduces health and stamina damage. Oh, ah! Where is this guy? Okay, there you go. What that? Glowing? Oh. That was pain. I feel like the camera is kind of close. Oh, okay. Use Hazuki pouch. Hazuki pouch can only hold a limited number of Hazuki, which may be used to restore health. It can be picked up in your travels to replenish from the storehouse. Okay, so I can't use one. Or at least it didn't work when I tried to just now. It looks like my health is full. Let me see. Can I adjust the... I don't think I can adjust the POV. Oh wait. Auto centering. No, I don't think I can. Deflect. L1 and X just before being hit. You can deflect enemy attacks to significantly deplete enemy stamina. Okay. Come on. That wasn't it. There we go. Ooh. Come on. Wait. Ah. Let me see. Yeah, let me get up there. What is this? Oh, for defense? Oh, that's pretty neat. Give me almost still. Oh, you can only use it once. Oh crap, wait. Oh. How do I get up there? Oh. Then jump over. Can I do that? No, I cannot. Maybe I do the deflection? Ow. I thought I had that. I definitely didn't have that. Okay. We gotta do it a little earlier than I thought. That was fun. Let's see, did I get the way forward? Did I do that for no reason, maybe? Is that a path? No, it's not. Okay. Oh, yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I did. But still good to know. We got a box, we got a save. Let's see, storehouse. Anything you cannot carry will be sent to your storehouse. Access it using a spirit mirror to replenish and or reorganize your inventory. Okay. Oh, there were shadows. Whoa. Whoa. Oh. Uh-oh. The demons are taking him. Whoa, what the freak? Snapped him out of it. There's no time. Head for the high platform. I guess we made it to the stage. No, we didn't actually. Okay. Still a little bit ways to go. Onivision. Hold, press L2 and R2. Use Onivision to make visible that which is hidden to the human eye. Oni Gauntlet will glow brightly when hidden objects are nearby. Onivision. What is this? Ew. What do you want me to do? Sever the threads? Ooh. You're free! Yay! It's too late. It's never too late, dude. It's never too late. Oh, okay, I was gonna say, can I crawl under that? This is some creepy looking. Never too late, ditch. Join us in the late night. Sleepy. What the freak are these? Oh. Oh. Okay, so it's like 3 attacks if I wanted to flex that, I guess. Yeah. Come on. Oh. Give me your soul. He didn't say Tanoshikata. Interesting. Blade barrages. Let's see. Press square triangle during a blade barrage. Crossing swords with enemies while initiating a blade barrage. To break it, you'll need to execute a different attack to the enemy. Forging ahead, the same move will only result in defeat. Okay. Break the blade barrage. You'll need to initiate a different attack than one you started with. So it's one-handed. Press triangles to press square. Okay. Wait, where are they at? Oh, they over here. Nice. What's over here though? Nothing? Is this a secrets kind of game? I feel like it's not. I keep trying to go off the beaten path and I'm not really finding anything. Oh, there's something right there. Mild restorative. Let's see, is somebody coming out of the pots? Yep. Ooh, what the freak? Ooh. Ooh. Okay, we go in there. Yep, there's somebody in there. Is there something down there? Is this path split? Who said that? Oh, they coming out. Okay, got stealth kills. Hello. Oh, okay, the thing that's hidden. I've heard that one before. Oh, there's people in here. Maybe I can talk to them. Floating rocks. Let me see if I can go in there before I do the threads thing, because I don't know if the threads thing is going to lock me out. Who's in here? Hello. Oh, what? Multi-kill? What's that? No, I wanted to see it. Okay, that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to do the blade barrage. Oh, damn. There we go. Okay. Okay, so blade barrage, it has to be like, it has that little scene. Are y'all good? I guess so. What's this? Use. We use that to get over the wall. Somebody coughing a lot. No, not that. Oh, that's just an attack. Okay, so I could have snuck up on them and used that. I see. Alright. Show me. Okay. They're both over here. Oh yeah, are they both over here? Wait. Go back around. Well, I already beat the dudes over there. I guess it would have been fine. Show me. Over here. Die. Was that the only one? Maybe. Maybe not. Where did just the other one go? Oh, it broke down this. Any item? It's going up and over. Yeah, I already done the assassinations. Just don't move too quickly, unless you blow your cover. I didn't really have an issue with that when I was running up behind them, to be honest with you. Are there dudes in there? Sounds like something. Some movement. Break lock. Okay. Oh yeah, there are dudes in here. Let's go. Come on. Ah. Wait. Whoa! I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready for that. Everybody can get it. Oh my god. Wait, no! Every time. I want to see what that move does. Ooh, you thought. You got no tail now. You say, what's your problem? Sound like I'm being shot at. I am. Damn spider head. Oh, not on that side. Okay. The thread, it goes over there. Into the cave. Okay. Anything else? Nope. Alright, let's go. Slide. Oh, when I reveal the boss gonna be in here. Oh, maybe not. Kill that spider. When I open it, the boss gonna be in here. Ooh, the two Celestials, a pair of blades forged by Oni craftsmen. They extract yellow souls from those they strike down. Oni ornaments. The two Celestials. Press R1 when the Oni power gauge is sufficiently filled. Oni ornaments deplete the Oni power gauge in order to unleash special attacks. For example, two Celestials will execute a string of special attacks that extract yellow souls from the enemies. So if you're hurt and you got that, use it. Let's see, head for the high platform at the temple. Do I have to... Can I climb up this, or do I have to go out? I can't even jump, so I guess I'm gonna turn around. My eye's kind of itching. Hold on. Here am I. Oh, I was just about to look at the map. Who are you? Oh, what the... Absorbing blue souls will fill the Oni power gauge, enabling you to use Oni armaments. Blue souls appear when you land attacks on enemies. More will appear when and more will appear the lower the Oni power gauge is. Oh. I almost messed that up. I was trying to hold LT to absorb the souls. Let's see, does it go away? Hopefully not. Wait, which way am I going now? Yeah, I'm going the right way. Relatively. Oh, hello. How do I get into the other one?
ざっとこんなもんだ。
どこですか? Okay, not cutting it. Literally not cutting it. Oh, here we go. Who talking in here?
固定の餌になりやがれ。
Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Let's see, it's L1 and X to deflect, right? Right, yes, okay. Or cross, I guess. It's supposed to be cross. Where's one of the mirror things? Wait. Yeah, I was about to be like, was it? Who's that? Open this? Oh! Oh. I'm sorry, lady. Was that Genma? Hopefully. Something bigger than him, that's an issue. Counter grab. Circle just before grab lands. Guys cannot be parried or blocked. You can perform a grab reversal, pressing circle just before. Part of the enemy will glow blue for you to grab. Okay. Alright. Hiya! Are you dead? Die. That way? Or this way? This way? Did see this item right here. Why does he keep doing that? Like keeps dodging to the left. So wait, this is where I was just at, or were they hiding out right here? Okay, no, yeah, I see, okay. Yeah, why does he keep doing it? Okay. This is not where I was just at. So did they all just run over there, or did he bring the bodies over there? This way. father. Oh. Oh, that's bad. Dang. Oh, there's the rival. Oh, we got one of those hats you throw.
これのせいで強くなりすぎた。もう退屈で退屈で。だがお前も同じ土俵なんだな。嬉しいね。命日の続きだ。とっとと始めようぜ。おとなしく死んどけよ。
There you go.
この程度かよ。切れると思ったか。残念だったな。
Oh.
傘からふざけやがって。
Oh, my stamina and my health. Hold on, wait, hold on. Oh my god. Damn, did I die? I did. I was trying to get to the healing items. Ooh. Hold on. It was because I was thinking about my eggs. I boiled some eggs and I need to put them in the refrigerator. That's breakfast for tomorrow. Alright. Now that I've done that, my mind is focused.
命日の続きだ。とっとと始めようぜ。おとなしく死んどけよ。塗ってあげる。
Ah.
切れると思ったか。残念だったな。鉄の傘からふざけやがって。死んでたまるかよ。
Heal, heal. Oh. Ah.
その情けねえ姿はよ。
Wait, hold on. Wait. I haven't had to heal this whole time. I think I did heal, but it did not heal me enough. No, no, no. Ah. No, stamina going back up. Oh, okay, he doubles. Wait, hold on. Whoa. Get him. Break Eason and bosses. Let's see, use L to target an area and then press square triangle. You can target specific areas when breaking or hitting a boss with Break Eason. Parts are marked with symbols, which colors indicate the effects. Red indicates extra damage. Purple means plenty of souls. Yeah. Give me one of them pellets. Whoa. Wait! No! I wanted to roll, but I did not. Oh, wait, don't kill me. Was that the right one? I'm spamming stuff. Don't let him. Oh, I'm out of stamina. I'm out of stamina. Get up, get up. No! Oh, wait, did I dodge it? I did. Alright, get back, get back, get back, get back. Wait, no, 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 no. Oh, damn it. These pellets are not doing enough for me. Okay. This isn't terrible. Oh, he always does that. Oh. Wait, wait. Oh, dang. Wait, 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 wait. Oh my god. Okay, so up does give me more health. Ah. I don't even know what. Okay, maybe you can't deflect that one. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Get up. No, not forward. No, no. Hurry up. Okay, you can't do that. Ah, okay, the slam. Stay away from the slams. Dang, I was close that one time. It's always like the first couple times I get close from Caboodle. At this point, it's just like hitting the right buttons. Oop. I knew it! Ah. Okay. Wait, 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 I wanted to heal. Heal, 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 heal. R1. Oh, yeah, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do it. Grah! No! I thought I dodged it. Get up, get up, get up. No! He needs to like, he needs an exit roll. He needs an exit roll. Oh, oh, I messed that one up. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, this does. I'm gonna just let this one go. This one's trash. Oh yeah. He doubles a lot of his stuff. He doubles a lot. Okay. I need to be more patient. That's always my issue. Ah. I need to dodge that. Ah. Heal! Dang it. Ah. Heal. Heal. No, can't. Okay, it takes a second to heal. I have to factor that in. I need to stop doing that. Ah, he always does it. I actually got really lucky with that. Oh! Oh, I got lucky. Oh, I keep going. Oh, I'm trying to be circle. Yeah, that was bad. I need to learn to lose. This isn't bad. I'm just like making mistakes. I'm making a lot of mistakes. You can't. Can you not do anything with that? I hit circle. Oh. I was trying to move away so I could heal, and then he stabbed me to death. Oh. Ah, there was a prompt. There it is. I got it early. Oh, no. Ah! Oh, thank God I got it. I thought I messed it up again. Come on. Oh, okay. Don't do that one. Oh. Oh my God. Oh man, that is crazy. I wanted a little fanfare. Come on. I decided not to play this while Tyra would have been mad. It's not bad. It was just me. Unless you mean frustrate yourself, which yeah, maybe. Yeah. I was my own worst enemy there. See, thank you for playing demo all the way through the end. You can save your demo completion data in the save slot of your choosing. Release is Friday, September 25th, 2026. Cool. This was fun. It kind of feels like what was the game? Oh my God, what was the demo or the game called? We played it. We played it together. It was not that long ago. I don't think I still have it downloaded. Let me see. It's probably still in my library though. How to get to library? Oh, over here. My collection. It was the Neo. It feels a little bit like Neo, but easier. The enemies are not as aggressive. What else? The parry window is pretty fair, I think. Or I guess the deflect, because there's, I guess, are parry and deflect two different things, or am I just making stuff up? I don't know. But that deflect move that I kept trying to do, where you circle around, pretty forgiving. And what else? It's like the multiple attacks, like fast attacks that be killing me, but that doesn't happen a ton in the open world. Healing is slow. Oh, that's sad for me. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Definitely, I'm gonna keep my eye on it. Alright, well that concludes the stream for the day, y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed. Next time I'll be live will be on Friday for Summer Game Fest. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else there. Actually, no, let me check the calendar. This is why I got this. I also have to cross some things off the calendar. Yes, next time will be Summer Game Fest. You're going live for Summer Game Fest? Yes. I will be going live because I won't be there in person. And IGN Live is only... Is it? It's only Saturday and Sunday. At least for the actual... like the open floor, I guess, for the public. Let me double check. They do have some things outside of Saturday and Sunday. Yes, it's Saturday and Sunday. Yep, so I will be going live. Be an official co-streamer. Shout out to the Summer Game Fest people. And it'll be exciting. It'll be cool. I think there's... Let me double check. Yes, so after Summer Game Fest is Day of the Devs. And then the Mix Showcase. I might... We'll see, because the in-person Mix Showcase is also that day. So I might just stream up until that's getting ready to start, and then I'm gonna go and talk to the indie devs and play the games and whatnot, which I will not be streaming, but I'll probably vlog it, so y'all will see it eventually. And then Saturday, Sunday, I don't know if I'm going to be streaming when these the Future Game Show. This Future Game Show is on Saturday, and it's at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. I don't know if I'll be there live for that. That might be an evening stream. Sunday is the Xbox Showcase. It's at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And the PC Gaming Show is also on Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Those both might be evening showcases for me, just depending on how long me and my friends are at IGN Live. So it's tough because there might even be like a screening of at least the Xbox Showcase at IGN Live. So y'all unfortunately probably won't get my raw reaction to anything past Friday. But you know, in exchange for not having that, I'll be able to have some cool new experiences to share, chatting with folks, trying out demos, checking out a new event. I think this is the 3rd year they've done IGN Live, maybe the 4th. So pretty fresh, pretty new. And yeah, there's also, you know, Nintendo Direct rumor is it will be next week, so I'll be able to stream that, I think. So, not all is lost. Have no fear. But yes, I will see y'all again on Friday. I will be streaming off my laptop, so just know that the stream not gonna be what you used to, but that's okay. But I appreciate y'all for all the support, especially helping me get to places like IGN Live and be able to speak with developers and different gaming communities. And hopefully this week is another step towards doing more big things. Oh, also in the Stranger Than Heaven, getting that opportunity as well. Thanks to the community, so I appreciate y'all. But yeah, until next time, hopefully you guys have a nice evening or night. Enjoy it. I'll see y'all in the next one.